Hello, so today I'm going to be ranking every single game that I have made. I recently released my new game, Slime Squisher, and I thought to myself, why don't I look back at every single game that I made and put them into a tier list? I'm not really going to be ranking this based on how successful they've been, but more so on basically how fun they are, how good they are, and how good they are related to how good of a developer I was back when I released it. So I guess we can just start with my first game, Coin Flipper, which I released in October 2022, if I remember correctly. This game is going straight up in S tier, and the only reason why is because it's my first game and I'm really proud of it. It is not really like that quality, it's not really that good of a game, it has a lot of rough edges, but in terms of a first game, this is pretty solid, and also it is pretty fun. Like I could probably play this right now and have some fun. I'm also quite happy that I chose a genre that's very like popular on Steam. Okay, my second game. So you've probably seen here that there is a another tier here which is called Flip That Coin, and this is where Flip That Coin is going. Basically, this game, well, it sucks. It's out on Steam. It's $1. The reason why I made this at all was because right after this game I thought to myself, I want to try and learn mobile development. So I made a very simple mobile game, but there was so many issues, so I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna publish a PC version of the game, and that is Flip That Coin. I'm pretty sure there's still like bugs that I don't know how to fix because there were just so many issues. So yeah, I could technically just like get rid of it on Steam, just like delete it because it barely sells at all, but I kind of like the idea of like having it there. So you can see here that you have 3 different games that are quite similar. These are the Catch Search series that I've made. Basically, once I was starting to make some money, I thought to myself, why don't I try and like hire some artists and make some really simple games, maybe for some extra income. But I kind of stopped doing that because it was pretty boring and these games are not doing that well. So I'm gonna put all of these in the D tier. They're not terrible. They do what they do. I mean, I guess these games are like good for like kids and shit because they're super simple and it's all about just finding. It's kind of like Where's Waldo, you know, it's like a hidden object game where you find hidden cats. Yeah. Okay, Treasure Chest Clicker was the game after Flip That Coin, and one of these, this one. And this one, I don't think I'm gonna go in S tier. I think some people actually think this is probably my best game, and I can understand why, but I think I have made a few better games than this. The best part about this game was that I learned so much. I remember this was just when ChatGPT and like AI was getting popular, so I learned a lot of stuff, how to like use ChatGPT for game development, I guess. And not only that, I learned so much from this game that I put into this game, so this game was kind of like easier. And another fun fact about this game, I released this in July 2023, and I remember that I spent basically like 82 days in a row, like every single day, and then I released it. So I was pretty proud of that. I also put out an update for the game, and it did add some cool stuff to it. And then we get to my next game, which is called Just Click the Button. This is going into the same tier as Coin Flipper because this is probably to this day my favorite game. I think it's the best game I've ever made. I think a lot of people would agree with me. This is a clicker game and a roguelike, basically a combination of them. And I remember when I first started working on this game, I was also working on this game while I was working on this game, and I had no idea what this game even was. I was basically just thought to myself, well, I was gonna make a clicker game where like the more you click, the more like the game evolves and you get like new abilities. But I never knew it was gonna be a roguelike until like halfway into the development. And I've already added so many like stuff to the game, so like making the switch over to a roguelike wasn't really that difficult. But yeah, this is the game that I've learned the most. I made a boss, I made endings, I made a top-down shooter, I made enemies, I made an ability system, I made a DLC even, just to like see how it works on Steam. I learned so much. And also this was also the game that is the most popular with YouTubers. If you Google this, though, if you go on YouTube and search for this game, you get so many. You get Sunday, Dangerously Funny, Blitz, so many big YouTubers. Super proud of this game, definitely going in the S tier. Right after the release of Just Click the Button, I made Peg Idle, which I think is either going in B or A. I would say it's a better game if we're talking strictly from a game development point, if we're talking about how good of a developer I've gotten. But this is my most successful game in terms of just revenue, but it is also my worst reviewed game. If you don't count this game, this is my least. I think it has 74%. It's mostly positive, which is not bad. It's good. You know, it's mostly positive, but it has a lot of issues, which I agree with. Sometimes when I read negative reviews, I'm like, yeah, kind of deserve that. But I'm not gonna put it in B just because I think it's a solid ass game. It overstays its welcome, which I think is one of the biggest issues. It's very, very grindy and it doesn't really evolve that much. So does not these two games either, but they're a lot shorter. And this game has, I guess, this has probably the most variety in any of my clicker games. If we don't count this because it's a roguelike. So yeah, I think it deserves A. Right after this game, I decided to make Clicker Clicker Clicker, and this game is going in B. Basically, when I made this game, I thought to myself, I want to try and challenge myself, because I made like 1, 2, 3, 4 clicker games, and I thought to myself, why don't I try and make a game pretty quickly and release it at the same price as like this game, because, you know, this was my first game and I spent like 6 months because I had to learn everything. And this game was like a month, a little bit less than a month. The only reason why it even takes a month is because there's so many things you need to add, like achievements and stats and balancing, and there's just so much stuff. There's so much stuff that's not accountable. You think, when you make an idle game, you think, oh, the gameplay loop you make pretty quickly, but there's so much stuff you need to add, which is why it actually is kind of time consuming. But I think it deserves a B. It's not very successful. I mean, it made good money. I'm happy with it. But a part of me is kind of like, maybe I shouldn't have made it. Maybe I should have just started this game. So, before we get to Slime Squisher though, let's take Ascend the Well. So this one barely counts because I didn't make this. I have released it because I paid a guy on Fiverr to make this game. Basically, I had an idea about a 2D grapple hook game, like a really difficult game, kind of like Jump King and stuff like that. I'm gonna put it not in here, but I'm gonna put it in D. Well, I'm gonna put it in C tier because I didn't make it, so it feels kind of weird to rank it. But it is okay. It's an okay game. It did not. I paid like $2,000, and it made maybe $400 bucks. That's not counting for Steam's 30%, so it's not made a profit. And I'm actually kind of happy that it didn't. I am going to make a separate video talking about this. Another reason why I decided to make this game, well, not make it, hire somebody, was because I started to making decent money, right? So I thought to myself, why don't I invest back in my business? And I had this idea and thought to myself, I don't really want to make this game 2D platformers. I don't really care to make it. So I hired somebody, and I'm kind of happy I did it, even though it didn't turn a profit. Okay, let's go to my recently released game, Slime Squisher. Spoilers, I'm gonna make a video on this, but spoilers. This game did do really, really bad. It went really bad with the Next Fest, the demo, barely any players. I've actually had a lot of YouTubers play it, but only small YouTubers, which I very much appreciate, but they don't really like impact that. It doesn't really give much of an impact. I'm going to put it in the A tier because I think it's a really good game. I think it actually is a lot of fun. Not better than Just Click the Button, because I think it has this has a cooler concept. Both of the games have endings, you can actually like beat them. This one is, I guess, this one is a lot harder. I think this is definitely the hardest game I've ever made. And I think that might be another reason why it's not as successful. My games, what I'm really good at is I'm really good at making games that you don't need to think about. You just click a button and you win, right? This one is actually challenging. Another reason why it wasn't all that successful was because it released on the same exact day as another roguelike, so that looked a lot better. But I'm quite happy with it. This is a very similar to this game. It's a clicker game combined roguelike. But if we don't consider the success of the game, I am quite happy with it. It is a fun game. I do enjoy playing it right now. I'm currently trying to release it on mobile. So I'm quite happy with it. I just wish it had a better release. So yeah, I'm quite happy with this ranking. If I were to rank this just straight based on, I guess we can do like a quick edit real quick. Let's do a quick edit. If we're talking profitability, how much money it actually made. So let's do that quickly. We're gonna put you here. I'm gonna put all of you here. Well, we can put it there. Let's just do it like this. This has made this here. We're gonna put these two at S, like this. It's pretty good. These two games have been really successful. This one done okay. This one, Slime Squisher, and all of this has not done pretty good. And these two games have done really good. I was recently in a daily deal, so that's pretty cool. Okay, not much more to talk about. These are all the games I've made. I am currently working on a new game, which is gonna be more of one of those like really like short incremental games, kind of like Dixium and No Busters. So I'm excited about that. So thank you for watching. Bye.